Hi there, it's Simone. I hope to do a really quick flip through, show you updates in my planner and how I have set up my February month stuff. Okay, let's start. I have shared a flip through this planner, I think all the way to the middle of the month, right around here. And what I'm thinking of doing is just showing you how I have set up my February, and that will show you what has changed. This is February. If you compare it to January, it looks pretty much the same. When something works for me, when I like the way it looks, I keep on doing it until it doesn't work for me anymore. This I like, and this I will keep. I have actually a sticky note right here that tells me how to set this up so that it looks like this. And then I used watercolor to write out the month. I found some ephemera that I liked. I actually wrote this with watercolor. I used watercolor to write all of my headers throughout the monthly pages. Yeah. Then from this, I went and picked my knitting projects from my projects book. This has changed. It was previously housed in a standard size traveler's notebook. It did not work for me, and instead of keeping on doing the same thing, I decided I would use a pocket rings planner, and it has the right size for my projects. I divided them up by type. I am currently mostly utilizing the knitting tab, and I have one project per page, and I'm sorting them in the order that I'm working on them, and I'm writing next steps if there is a one, or I'm just simply continuing along where I left off previously. And then once the week is over, this is how I'm working on my knitting projects at the moment. I'm swapping them out weekly. I just put it away and wait until the next turn is up. The next page has my next actions list. I have some sticky notes because we haven't planned our month as a family yet. So I have some ideas right here. And then I have some Instagram ideas. Maybe I can put them right where they belong. So when we are going to plan our month, this is what I will be talking about. Next actions in my January looked like this. I used a to-do list from a different notepad and just stuck it in. But I decided not to do this month because the lines are so far apart. So I had to allot 2 pages, and here I just am using 1. And we'll see how that actually works. I had added a vellum here. The decorative item in this month is this card. It is a really sturdy cardstock, and I'm not sure if I actually like this. It is very sturdy. I moved. So that is my next actions. I put the ideas list, which is where everything that has not a time frame, ideas, as it says, things that I want to do maybe someday, something that goes places, but I don't have in another planner right here, and I'm reviewing them at the end of the month. Then I have my budget page. It is set up a bit different than January. This is what January looked like. And what I have learned from this month, I have transported over here. I have started the top with adding the amount of tips that I receive each week right here. And it is off 1 week because next week on Tuesday, I will receive the tips for this week that we are currently in, and so this is 1 week off. And then I want to count my cash in my wallet on those days. And I also want to write down when I spent cash. And that is something that I still struggle with. I have always struggled with it, but I really want to remember where the cash that I have goes. So I'm really trying hard to make that happen. And then in January, I wrote down all the things that I wanted with the price. And when I actually purchased it, I used a highlighter to highlight the things that I purchased and the things that I did not purchase. And so I left room for this down here. And that's what this is going to be. So I think this will be visualizing this better and is more organized and structured so I can see things better. And then I added this die cut here and created a pretty page because I wanted to start the next week on the left side. Which brings us to the struggles that I have. I am trying to be more open, to be more flexible, and I'm noticing that I'm not very flexible in how I set up the weeks. I really prefer the weekly page for menu planning and Instagram to be on this side and then start my Monday with on the right side so that Saturday and Sunday are on a spread. They don't really have to be, and I need to be more open and flexible to that. And then I want to put notes for my Yarn Talk video down here. This is what February looks like. I put the waiting on list for the whole month over here. Everything that needs action from somebody else that I need to check back with because I might forget it goes here. So I added in this free printable from Pen and Alex. It is my YouTube planner, rough planner, to see how many Saturdays each month has, what ideas I have. Everything goes in here with pencil. Just having one monthly overview and now two didn't work for me, so I had to add in some months in advance. I have noticed that the boxes, or actually, yeah, I actually don't really know what this is called. So starting to write right on the edge right here where the paper starts is not working. So I need to move the right side boxes further into the middle of the page. It doesn't really matter. I have room. I just need to remember it because it makes writing on there a lot easier. What else? I have started to incorporate a 2-day rule for my exercises, and I have watched a video by Matt Davila. I think that's what he's called. I will link his video in the description box below. If you like productivity videos, you should check him out. I really like the way he talks and what he's saying. His video talked about his findings on creating habits, and one of those was to never have more than 2 days in a row where you do not do the habit thing that you want to create. And that has worked really well for me ever since I watched the video. So I'm trying to continue doing exactly that. Never have more than 2 days in between the next exercise. Yeah, I talked about the notes, the lists that I want to add in here, and the way that I'm not adding a list if it means that my week starts on the right side. I need to be more flexible with this, and I'm going to do that moving forward. Let's check in next month and see how that works. Also, in the beginning of the month, I decided I would only use black pen because I was afraid that using 3 different colors would make this too busy because I am using decorative elements, and I don't really like that. It worked really well for me using color coding. I used black for my schedule, red for to-dos, and blue for notes. And I am just going to embrace this during the next 2-3 weeks and see how that works for me. If I like adding stickers or if I'm not adding stickers because of that, just to see how it goes. And then something that I struggled with in January, and I know I will struggle with in February, is being too busy. My life is too much fun, and I'm not able to. I need a lot of downtime after. Not really downtime. I really struggle with getting back into routines after I have done something that is not my everyday life, like going away for the weekend, and that just messes with me with how how things go, and I can't really do anything about it and just embrace it and give myself grace for when things just don't work as smoothly and I'm not as productive as I want to be. That is what has been changed. I just want to show you the pages that I haven't shared with you yet. I'm trying to add more stickers. I'm successful some days I'm not at all. When I was away for the weekend, I journaled and I really liked that. This week, I completely and totally forgot. So see, I added this die cut so that I could put this right here, and then I completely forgot and started my Monday right here. And as you can see, I survived. Then I put the weekly spread or the meal plan and Instagram right after the week, and then put the next week's meal plan and Instagram right on the back side. And then I started with Monday. And some days I'm writing a lot, some days I'm not. And here, this is where I noticed that I'm struggling with not using color. So I am using color, then I'm not using color. And so I'm just giving myself the permission to do things as I used to do. Here I had a really big pulling everything that I still need to get done want to get done in January and things that haven't been done throughout the week onto this Saturday spread. I used this cool checkbox, hollow checkbox washi tape from the Style Planner right here. And then this was my son's birthday. Then I'm using these tabs, sticky notes to mark important pages like this one. This is this week. And I actually added in washi tape right after the fact because I noticed that having washi tape everywhere is really limiting. And so I'm trying spreads without washi tape to see how it works. Here, yeah, this week wasn't really good. I got my period and I just didn't feel it. I was so exhausted all the time. We're short-staffed at work, so every shift is even more exhausting than it usually is. So we'll see how that works in the coming weeks. I am using a sticky note to move my weekly tasks. It's not really working. I have been thinking, or I'm going to do this for next week, put my to-do list right here. I don't know if that's gonna work better, but I'm trying things as I'm going. And so, yeah, so we're here, and that's what next week, the next 2 days look like, and then February starts. So I am starting February here. I'm finishing the week, and then I have my monthly pages, and then I go back into the weekly pages. I don't know if this is going to be the way I'm setting up my month every month, but for now, this is how I did it. Yeah, I hope this wasn't too long. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.